Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up?
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for coming to My Story, My Strength 365-day challenge, a place where I share my story so that I can show others how healing is possible, but not necessarily easy. Okay, so today, this episode, this is my trigger warning. The episode is going to contain explicit content involving domestic violence, kidnapping, coercion, sexual trauma, and suicidal threats. The details shared include non-consensual acts, abuse during my time of trying to get away, during escape, there it is, and intense emotional manipulation. This story may be disturbing or re-traumatizing for some viewers. For some viewers and listeners. If you're if you're in a vulnerable place emotionally, please pause and prioritize your well-being. You're never weak for stepping away. Your support is always available. So basically, because my microphone was up, I'm going to redo that. This trigger warning is basically saying that this episode is going to include domestic violence, kidnapping, coercion, sexual trauma, and suicidal threats. Also, it's going to include non-sexual acts and abuse. So these are intentional, intense, emotional, traumatic situations that you can step away from if you need to, okay? Because today I'm going to talk about another time when I tried to leave my ex-husband. This was right before I decided to move to Las Vegas, and actually it was the decision. It was around the time that I decided I needed to leave the state, and it was right after he attacked me for that $5. If you guys who missed it, he slit my throat for $5. He cut my throat, and nothing was done. So, but this is around the time he was no longer in the home. I was trying to separate from him. And I guess whatever arrangements he had was starting to fall through. And suddenly he began trying to come back into my life. And I was really young and lonely. So when the sister called me again, promising, okay, he won't be over here. He won't be over here. I just want to see my niece and nephews. I was hesitant, but I wanted to believe that she was being sincere. So I went ahead and I took my kids over there. But the way the apartments were set up, there was a front area where you can go in. There's just one street, but I didn't realize because the apartments kind of went up a little slant. It wasn't a big complex, a very small one, but it was still, a nice little walk to the back of the complex. And I didn't even think about the street back there because it was a dead end street. But when we were outside letting the kids play or talk or whatever, here he comes walking down that hill, and I see him. I'm like, no, you know what? You lied. I don't have time. I'm done. If you ever want to see my kids again, you're gonna have to either meet me somewhere or come to my house or my sister's house, because those are places I know he would, things that I know he won't do anything in public where he's afraid he'll go to jail, as far as like a mall or something. So I told her no more. My kids went in the house to kind of grab their things out, because I told them, go in there and get your things. Take your sister in there with you, because she was about 10 months old. I was only around 22, and the sister goes in there to help them kind of get things started. And as I am trying to go in the house, he grabs me by the back of my hair and he begins to drag me down back to where he was parked, because he had a car that was not titled, so he would always hide it. But he never hid his car when he drove to her house. He always parked at the front. So again, to this day, I feel like that was something that they kind of set me up again. Okay, so, and that was also the last time I even went to her house. So I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to catch the last bus home. I'm done. I'm not going to deal with you anymore. I can't. So he drags me to this car. He throws me in on the driver's side because he already has the passenger side locked. And he jumps in as I'm trying to unlock the passenger door to get out. He grabs me by my hair and he starts to fight me. He starts punching me in my face, beating me, snatching me by my hair, choking me. Then as he's doing this, he's turning the car on, and then he puts the car in drive. He drives off. He's speeding down the street. And I'm trying to find a way to get out of this car at this point. He reaches over, he locks the door back. So as I'm trying to get the door to unlock, he's punching me, pulling my hair at every red light, at every stop sign to make sure I don't get out. I'm looking at people, hoping that they see me in distress and, call the police, point them out to the car. Didn't have the license plate on there, but they could describe the car, the make, the model, the color, whatever, and let them know that there was somebody in there. Of course, that never happened. So he drives me to a place that we're close to called the Bluffs. He asked, if you don't take me back, I'm going to kill us both. I'm going to kill us both. And as we get closer to the bus, I'm like, okay, fine. You can just come home, please. He's like, we're both going to die. Our kids are not going to have either one of us. They're going to be in the foster care. They're going to be staying with my sister. His sister was not the best mom. She's not. I mean, she knows. I don't really care. She wasn't the best mom. She isn't the best mom. And I didn't want my kids to be raised with her, or my mom for that matter. My sister had 4 kids of her own. So, I wanted my kids and I wanted my children to be raised with me. Forget all that other stuff. My children needed to be raised with me. So I said, okay, fine. You can come home. He said, I don't believe you. If you want me to believe you, then you need to basically, he forced me to perform oral sex on him as he was driving and said, if you don't make me finish, we're both going to die, basically. So I had to do what I had to do to get out of that car. And he drove me back home. Back to her house. And I ran to her house, blocked myself in the house. And I told her what happened. And, he left. He broke in my house later that night and beat the shit out of me for not leaving with him because he wanted me to get the kids and get the car because I was trying to get away from him. But that was the day I decided I needed to get out of that state and get away from him. So the wounds that I felt, that experience left me believing that I didn't matter, not even as a mother. It made me think that no one saw me as a human being worth being protected, especially while I was still healing. I was young. I was carrying the weight of motherhood. And I believed the only value that I had was how quiet I could stay or how much pain I could take. I felt like my voice meant nothing. I felt like nobody cared. His sister kept setting me up. I felt like I was just somebody that you could throw away and I didn't deserve anything. And the worst part was I was questioning whether my fear was valid because I had been silenced and manipulated for so long. I started to wonder if surviving was just a series of lies and sacrifices that I had to make, and whether my children would one day grow up questioning why I didn't leave sooner. Okay, so reflection question. What lie did you believe about yourself because someone else's violence? And how has that shaped the way you protect your silence how you protect or silence yourself today? Blah, blah, blah. How has that shaped the way you protect or silence yourself today? So does that abuse cause you to be quiet about everything you've gone through? Do you have your walls built up? Sometimes people allow themselves to become cruel or mean because they are afraid to let their guard down. So how has that affected you? Someone else's abuse. So the negative belief that I had, the mindset that I had was I thought that my only power was submitting to survive, that my value depended on my ability to endure harm quietly. But the truth is my strength was never in what I survived silently. It was in what I refused to let destroy me. Survival wasn't submission. It was a strategy, and it was a strategy. And the fact that I'm here now speaking out loud proves I was always more than what he tried to reduce me to be. So that's how I think about it now. An affirmation that I have was, I am not what was done to me. I am the fire that rose from it. The phoenix, like they say. So the coping skill or tool I'm going to use today is emotional body scanning. So it's a step-by-step tool to reconnect your body after trauma, flashbacks, or disassociation. So you sit or lie somewhere safe. Close your eyes. Start from your toes. Tense and release. Tense, make it tight and then release. And do that to each area of your body slowly. Your toes, your calves, your thighs, your belly, your chest, hands, arms, jaw, forehead. And as you do this, say out loud or in your head, this is my body. This is my space. I am here. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. And exhale slowly for 6. And then you finish by wrapping your arms around your torso or placing your hands on your chest and saying, I am safe. I am present. I belong to myself. And you do this repeatedly and so many times. And again, you have to practice this on a regular basis if you want it to work. Doing it once is going to feel like learning a foreign language. This is new. You have to let your body get used to teaching it all of the grounded techniques that I've shared with you throughout this show. And this helps survivors ground, reset nervous tension, and reestablish ownership of their bodies after trauma. So here's my empowerment challenge for you today. You need to create your warrior list. Write down 5 moments in your life where you fought back mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Moments where you resisted, escaped, endured, or made a decision that helped you reclaim yourself. And then you say out loud, these are moments that they couldn't break me. I've always been stronger than I realized. And let your own proof speak louder than their violence. Okay. So my survivor spotlight is another such one, you guys. I've been thinking about this, and I do need to honor this woman. She's my children's godmother. Today I want to honor her, and sadly she's no longer with us. You know, and I won't name her name out of respect because she's not here to consent. But I will say this: she was a light wrapped in strength, a beautiful soul who smiled through cancer, poverty, and years of abuse by a man who promised to love her. She didn't die from abuse. She died from complications of breast cancer. She had stage 4 breast cancer that she had been fighting for over 20 years, and that was finally what ended her life. I met her when I was 17 and pregnant. I was scared, and she had welcomed me as if she'd known me forever. She stood up for me when I couldn't do it for myself, and she protected me when my ex tried to hurt me, and I was safe. She was a safe place for me and my children when I needed refuge. But she was hurting too. She was living under the control of an abuser who beat her and her child, only one time that I know of, even as she fought to survive breast cancer. She never stopped loving. She never stopped giving. She was at every cancer walk, every fundraiser, every community event for breast cancer awareness, even when it meant going home to be beaten by him again because he didn't always want her to go. Her body was breaking, but her spirit was a damn flame. I found out we weren't able to keep in contact with each other because when I found out that he hit her son, I called the police and I sent them to his house. And from that moment on, her husband did not allow her to speak with me, my children. We had to sneak here and there. Every so many years, we would catch up with each other. I'll see her on the street, or she would email me, and we would catch up. But then we wouldn't be able to connect. And I just found out last year that she passed away from cancer, and I never got to say goodbye. But I know that she's with my son now, and both of them lighting up wherever they are with their laughter and love. So to my sister, my protector, my children's godmother, I honor you so much for your huge bravery. Every prayer, every time you open your door, I thank you. Thank you for showing me what resilience looks like in a woman's body. You didn't just inspire. You never stopped fighting even when the world didn't deserve your grace. We see you, we remember you, and we will never stop loving you. Every day I tell these stories, not just for me, but for you, the survivor who's still trying to understand their own pain. If today's story moves something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Tune in to Empowered Voices Finding Strength in Survivors daily for challenge drops. Listen to Insights of a Survivor every Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Listen every last Saturday of the month. I keep doing that. My collaboration with Real and Raw and Real with Mr. All Love at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm getting ready to jump off here right now so that me and Coach Kiss can get on her show, Kiss Corner. So let's change the way healing looks in public. Drop a comment if today resonated with you. Speak your truth. It's how we take our power back, because your story doesn't end in pain. It begins in power. I will see you tomorrow for another powerful story of healing and strength. I love you guys all. Stay strong.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion.